don't be to understand. Inaugural first ever NBA basketball game in Africa. Sports, development, travel and tourism, and also curating a Talking Drums travel adventure around the BAL tournament. Akwaba Karibu and welcome back to Talking Drums Thursdays. I'm so excited to be talking about today's topic, which is basketball and Africa. So before I get started, can we just appreciate this beautiful necklace I'm wearing? So this is actually from Mali, although I sourced it in South Africa. I sourced it from a Malian company who procure products from Mali and sell them in South Africa. So this will be on the Talking Drums marketplace soon. So do take a look and feel free to have a look and see if there's anything that piques your interest. So for those of you who don't know, our online marketplace, which sometimes features in person at select events, is filled with products sourced from across the continent and just amazing unique pieces that have stories to tell behind them. So this amazing piece is from Mali. It is made from clay and it's actually a traditional Malian necklace. And for those of you who know about history and you know about the Empire of Mali, I just feel like so happy to have a piece of jewelry from there. It's actually a country I really want to visit and I hope to be able to do so soon. But in the meantime, I'm sure you can appreciate my amazing necklace. Basketball has grown exponentially across the continent over the last almost 15 years since the NBA opened an office in Johannesburg in 2010. So yes, the NBA has had a dedicated office in Africa since 2010, starting with Johannesburg, and over that time has increased to now have an office also in Nigeria, in Egypt, most recently in Kenya, and then also the headquarters of the Basketball Africa League, which is in Senegal. What is really exciting is to see how sports can be used as a tool for development. And actually, one of the first things that piqued my interest in this space was attending the Michael Essien AU Day celebrity match in Ghana in 2011. So for those of you who don't know, AU Day, Africa Day is on the 25th of May, and it's a day that celebrates in Africa in addition to commemorating the anniversary of the establishment of the Organization of African Unity, which later became the African Union. So Michael Essien brought a number of footballers together and they formed Africa 11 and World 11, and they played a charity match, and it was honestly such an amazing experience. And it really made me think about how sports can be used as a tool for development. So we've seen over the years how sports stars use their off seasons to run dedicated clinics for young people across the continent in different areas, such as football, such as basketball. That's really where my fascination with sports and development kind of started. And then I later actually studied for a master's degree in development studies. And a few years after that, the NBA announced that they would be hosting the first ever Africa game in South Africa. Now, at that time, I hadn't been to South Africa before, but it was on my to travel list. And so I thought, well, why not go now? And that's what I did. So if you know me, you'll understand. This is what I do sometimes. To know me is to understand. So I took my first trip to South Africa and curated a whole holiday around this inaugural first ever NBA basketball game in Africa. It was incredible. I was honestly blown away when I first landed in Johannesburg. I just could not believe how incredible the infrastructure was, especially taking the How train, which is essentially like a metro system or a railway subway system, but taking that from OR Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg, where I landed, right into Sandton, the richest square mile in Africa. I just couldn't believe that this was the infrastructure here. And what was really important to note is that some of the infrastructure, such as the How train, was actually a legacy from the country's investment in its infrastructure after the 2010 World Cup. So it was amazing to see Not only was that investment there, but 5 years later, it's still been maintained. So fast forward, and in 2020, the NBA hosted the first ever Basketball Africa League, and this was held in Rwanda in a newly built stadium in Kigali. That stadium now hosts the finals, or the playoffs as it's also known, with initially two, now three conferences taking place in Senegal, Egypt, now South Africa as well, and of course the finals or the playoffs in Rwanda. I just realized I might be able to say a phrase in each of the countries that holds one of the conferences. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try and say the same phrase in a language from each country. Okay, so let me start with Senegal, which hosts the Sahara Conference. I can say Nangadef and also Jerejef. Okay, so for Egypt, which hosts the Nile Conference, I can say Salam Alaikum, and also I can say, oh my gosh, I can say Shukran. Yes. Okay, and lastly, in the Kalahari Conference, which is in South Africa, I can say Sawubona and Siyabonga. And actually, let me see if I can try some Kinyarwanda. I can say Maraho. Woo! I'm getting there, continent wide. Also, can we just appreciate how amazing the names of the conferences are? Sahara Conference, Nile Conference, and Kalahari. Absolutely loving this. I'm loving the branding. I'm loving the African identity. I'm loving it all. I had the pleasure of attending 2 games in the Sahara Conference, and I was blown away by the first class facilities, the atmosphere, the fans, the dedication of the players. The matches were phenomenal, and the hard work of the whole BAL team, the whole BAL family. I was really impressed with the branding, the creativity. I mean, everything was just absolutely phenomenal. And I was also impressed by the BAL's corporate social responsibility initiatives, such as For Her, which is the league's commitment to promoting gender equality. That was amazing. So when I think back to the Michael Essien charity match and seeing how sports could be used as a tool for development, fast forwarding a little bit to attending the first ever NBA Africa game, and then now seeing how that has evolved into a dedicated league and the ecosystem around that, the job creation, the infrastructure development, the corporate social responsibility initiatives, as well as the opportunities for tourism, I am amazed, I'm excited, I can't wait to see this continue to grow. And this provides such an ideal opportunity for those in the tourism and hospitality space. Events like the Basketball Africa League provide the ideal opportunity to curate a trip or experience around a particular event. Personally, really excited about further exploring the synergies between sports, development, travel and tourism, and also curating a Talking Drums travel adventure around the BAL tournament as well. And this only scratches the surface around what the NBA Africa and Basketball Africa League are doing to grow and enhance basketball and the total ecosystem across the continent, from recent collaboration between the NBA Africa and Art Lagos to so many junior clinics to Basketball Without Borders to promoting gender equality. I mean, it's just honestly so exciting, and I'm really, really excited to be hosting a Talking Drums travel adventure as part of this in due course. So leave a comment in the comment box below. Let me know what you think around the growth of basketball across Africa. If you're planning to join one of our travel adventures soon, particularly one of those curated around the Basketball Africa League, and what other sports you think are growing really well across the continent. And see you next week.